Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're recapping and reviewing tonight's episode of Love Island USA. So let's start out with this couple, which basically is a perfect failure. It's Trey and Lauren. I mean, it's got so bad between these two that, and especially with Trey snoring all night, that Lauren is like, you know what, I just can't sleep with him, okay? So, I mean, we only had little content with these two today, and it showed how, he got pied in the face, which that's to be expected by Justine. And I'm actually, at first I was rooting for him and Justine, but I'm actually glad that she's out of this situation with Trey. So let's talk about this, because there's a little thing brewing as a swap with Lauren and with Carrington and with Kierstan. So, obviously he had a conversation with her, wondering if she would be okay with coupling with someone else that's interested in pursuing her. And of course she said yes. She asked him and he pleaded the fifth. So, okay, whatever. We'll talk about that other thing later. So they get down to the end. And unfortunately, Arielle comes back to basically let them know that they are part of the bottom three that might be going home. And honestly, I want them to go home. That's just my thing. Okay, let's move on. We're going to talk about Johnny and Sally. And I mean, this whole thing was so... I always like them. They're still high on my rating scale. Of course, Lauren got a kiss in with Johnny, and, it didn't really. I mean, she'd been wanting to do that, but okay, whatever. And Sally is like, okay, whatever. I like her attitude. She's so lighthearted. It seems to be very secure within herself, and of course, she got the ring put on it by Johnny. He put a ring on it. So, and of course, it was part of that game that they played with the kissing, the smooching, the marry me, and the pie. And of course, he pied up, who did he pie up? He pied up Mackenzie. And we'll talk about that later, too, when we get to them. But I thought this particular thing was so cute, because Sally was like, I am working super hard to make him fall in love with me. I'm putting in work. And girlfriend, yes, you are. Keep doing what you're doing, because Johnny seems like he absolutely loves everything about it. Okay. And the fact that he allowed her to give him this facial, I thought that was so cute. So I don't know if Johnny was into, getting facials before he came to this villa and massages, but he is most definitely into it now. So the conversation that they had was basically about two other couples. The first one was Carrington and Kierstan. And, Sally is like, seeing them not on the same level that we are getting together is hard. And, Johnny was like, they're never on our level. I mean, that's relationship is pretty much not going anywhere. And, of course, we'll talk about that later when we get to that couple. But, yeah. And then, of course, they brought up the whole thing with Justine and Caleb. And, she said basically the same thing about them. And Johnny was like, nah, I don't see it with them either. And, Sally was like, no, I have faith in them that they're going to work. And, Johnny was like, you know what, maybe you're right, because Caleb is in touch with his emotions and everything. And so, Sally is definitely rooting for Justine. And, of course, Caleb is, Johnny's boy. So, they're looking out for the two of them. But honestly, they might have a little something. I'm going to raise up my rating, because it was pretty low the other day. So I'm going to give, well, when I get there, I'll give them their rating. But right now with Johnny and Sally, they're still a 10 with me. So, yeah, they were really, elaborating on these two with Kierstan and Carrington, and pretty much how they're pretty much going nowhere. But I do like the connection that they have. He is absolutely enjoying the treatment, Because, hey, it looks like Johnny might be her new king and she might be his new queen. So I'm hoping that that's the case. But I love these two together. They are very attractive together. They have so much chemistry. She goes hard in the paint in for him. He goes hard in the paint in for her. They protect each other. They just ooze with so much chemistry between these two. So I hope that they make it. They were also one of our top 3 couples selected by America based on what Arielle had stated at the end of the show, which we all knew that. We definitely knew that these two were definitely going to be in that top 3. So this is no surprise. And of course, again, my rating is a 10. So let's talk about Moira and Calvin. Moira and Calvin. Okay. So, of course, there was this interesting situation that Moira found interesting with Calvin kissing Kierstan. And, it was pretty interesting. I'm wondering, did he have some interest there when it came to Kierstan? I don't think I've ever seen that before. But, I thought it was interesting. You guys tell me what you think. But, of course, she got a ring on it too from Calvin. And she was definitely excited about that, even though the kiss happened. And, of course, Kierstan pied Johnny. She was like, yeah, I'm giving you the pie face immediately. So I thought that was funny. So, the girls, meaning Mackenzie and Kierstan, actually decided to have a little conversation. And then, Mackenzie's asking, so what'd you think about that kiss, girlfriend? And watching it. And, Moira was like, oh, I was excited about being asked to be married. But she did later admit that she's a bad liar. And, she didn't want him to kiss that girl. But, of course, she didn't want to tell Mackenzie that. And, Mackenzie's like, maybe you need to be concerned, because Kierstan is the only one that hasn't been tested in her position. And, and she said, I don't want to give up my feelings in a way to show pressure to, Calvin. So, I don't want to rock the boat with that. But, Mackenzie's like, you're moving too slow emotionally, so you need to build that up a little faster. I mean, guys, what do you think about that? Because I think that that's the same situation as well. And again, Moira's face is priceless. But, she was afraid by doing the same thing that she did with James, being 100% in 2 days. She didn't want to make that mistake also with Calvin. And, basically they need to have some conversation about that. And, the thing is that, Moira has to, you don't have that much time in the villa. That's one thing about the romance reality shows is they give you a time limit to actually see if you got compatibility and where you guys are going to go from this. So you've already spent a lot of time with James, Moira. I mean, if you're going to do something with Calvin, you might want to build that communication and that, your emotional connection just a little bit faster. And that's what Mackenzie is saying. So, I mean, can Mackenzie have some interesting responses about things? Yeah. But in this particular situation, she needs to figure out where he stands and where they're going to go, because the time is short being in this villa. So, speaking of that, they definitely have a sit down. And, Moira's like, I'm kind of want to figure out where you stand, and I get in my head a lot. And, Calvin is like, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, why are you saying that? And, she started talking about how he's super hot and he's charming and and he's charismatic and she don't want to move too fast because, of everything that happened with James. And he was like, what, you can't trust me? And she's like, well, it's not that I can't trust you. It's just the fact that, I just think we need to try to build on a deeper connection. And with that being said with her, I'm glad she kind of took Mackenzie's advice. If you guys are going to move to the next level, you got to see where your connection is. So, at the end of the show, they are one of the couples that are in the bottom 3 couples that, have to be actually voted upon to stay, and I mean, honestly, Moira, you had James that was all in and he was too much, and now you got Calvin and he's too slow and you don't know what to do. So, I mean, granted, I'm giving them a rating of probably about a 4 because it's just not there yet. So, we'll see. All right, let's talk about Kierstan and Carrington. So I think that little shower scene was really hot and really sexy, but I obviously, as we move on, we'll definitely see whether it meant anything. So they were at the Smooch Mary Pied challenge, and of course, Kierstan gave him a ring and everything, just to show that, this is the person that I'll marry, and he was, okay, cool, he's just not there, I mean, and that's, hey, listen, if you don't want to be involved with someone, you actually need to have that conversation. Don't keep dragging it on. And, of course, there's some feelings that he has there in regards to Lauren. Of course, him swapping out Lauren with Trey and Kierstan with Trey. They're trying to figure this thing out. And if that's where you want to be, Carrington, yeah, you need to have some conversation with Kierstan to let her know. So, therefore, you won't be leading her on. So they definitely do have some conversation. And, he doesn't like the fact that, she's touchy-feely, as he was telling Trey. And, of course, she's having conversation with Sally about the fact that she don't know where he stands. And, Sally is basically telling her, you need to figure that out. You guys need to talk this thing out to see where you are. Because there's no sense of, you guys being in this position and you're not knowing where you stand, and she's like, he need to put more effort. Yeah, if he really truly going to be with you, and that's any guy, they got to put in effort, point blank, period. And the same thing with, Carrington, he's like, yeah, I got to have a conversation. I'm just not there with her. I don't do the touchy-feely thing. So, they had a conversation, and, Kierstan told him, I need to know where you stand, dude. What's up? You taking your sweet time. It's not helping. You need to give me some more effort. Let me know what's up. And basically, he paused, and he was like, you know what? I'm glad we're having this conversation because I don't think I can be the person that you need me to be. And, Kierstan was like, well, I'm not going to change for anybody, as she shouldn't. You be you and find that person who you really connect with, So, I mean, I'm 100% with her on that. And, she was like, okay, fine. I'm going to continue to look for somebody who wants me for me, because I'm not going to change myself just to, accommodate someone. So I'm open up my options. And he was like, okay, fine. I'm not going to be messy about anything. If somebody comes into the villa that you're interested in and that you want to talk to. And you can tell by her facial expression, she was extremely disappointed because she really, really liked Carrington. But Carrington wasn't all in with her. So it's best, instead of being like the Mackenzie Connor situation when one of the people know that they don't really want to be there, but you just stick around because either you're too afraid to address the issue or break another person's heart or hurt their feelings. You need to get out. And I mean, honestly, Kierstan is going to feel this one, but it's best. I agree with Carrington. He need to let her know you need to move on because I'm not that dude. You need to go find that person for you who's going to be exactly what you're looking for, because I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm glad she didn't, break down. She didn't fall out, So I have no rating for this particular couple because they just basically ended it. And It's unfortunate that, the spark that they had in the beginning didn't turn into big fireworks like, Calvin said about Moira the other day, but it is what it is. And, Kierstan is a beautiful girl. She's not going to have any problem finding anybody. So don't worry about a girlfriend. You're going to be good. So, they hugged it out, as they end their little coupling. And, of course, Carrington and Trey reconvene with each other, to basically give Trey the good news. Like, hey, I'm not with Kierstan. If you want her, have at it. And at the same time, with Lauren in the picture, Trey is like, you know what, have at it. If you Carrington, you want to talk to her, let's swap. And I'm like, dang, y'all just swapping? Remember, y'all running out of time. This season is almost over. So, this is not like some of the other shows where you got 90 days or Married at First Sight when you got 8 weeks. You guys are short on time. So with all these couples that y'all swapping up with in the villa, y'all got to make it quick on what you guys going to decide to do. And I don't even know if Kierstan is even interested in Trey. Trey is just trying out folks to see. And granted, that's part of the game, so I'm not going to heavily weigh on him. But it's also a time limit. And, of course, that time limit is short. So, you guys, tell me what you think. Do you think that Carrington and Lauren can make a good couple and Trey and Kierstan can make a good coupling? I honestly don't see it on either side. If I had to give the new coupling or swap a rating, I'll give them both a 2 because it's just, I'm not feeling it. I don't even know if Kierstan even want to be with Trey. So, you know what, Trey? You're gonna, this ain't gonna work out for you. So, of course, just to elaborate on them, again, he has a talk with Lauren, and basically Lauren is telling him, I'm gonna go pursue Carrington, and you can go pursue whoever you're claiming the 5th on. So they have the neon party, and you do see Trey dancing with Kierstan and having a good time. And then, of course, at the end of the show, when Arielle comes out, of course, Carrington and Kierstan is at the bottom too, along with the swap couple, Lauren and Trey. So, like I said, time is short. Now, granted, outside of the villa, you can do what you want. But, hey, it is what it is. So, let's talk about our next couple, which is Justine and Caleb. And, of course, she got a ring on it. Caleb got a lot of kisses, too. Because he got a lot of kisses from... He got a kiss from Mackenzie. And I think he got a kiss from somebody else. But, oh, yeah. He also got a kiss from Lauren. So, it's pretty interesting. But Justine took it in stride in the middle of this game. And she's pretty excited. I love her smile. She have an absolute gorgeous, gorgeous smile. And even Justine, I was surprised that she actually kissed Connor. That was shocking to me, but she had to kiss somebody and she kissed him. But she, of course, chose to marry Caleb. So they also had a sit-down conversation. And, Justine told him, I was having a conversation with the girls and, you're a mystery and you're so hard to read. And he was like, well, what are you reading? I thought that was funny. He was like, what you reading? Seriously. Well, and she said, maybe you're not so interested, and Caleb is like, whoa. Listen, let me just tell you. Every time I see you in a different outfit, a different swimsuit, I'm like, dang, she looks so good. I like the person that I'm coupled up with. And he was like, you know what, just chill. Stop overthinking it. Just chill, it'll be cool. And, after he made that statement to her, she was like, you know what, it makes a lot of sense. Maybe I am overthinking it too much, but it sounds like a little bit of insecurity, Justine. Granted, coming off of Jeremiah and Trey, it's a possibility you could maybe think that, okay, here come Caleb. Am I going to go the same way? Am I going to go to the same things with Caleb that I went through with the other couples? And honestly, I think there's a small spark there, but it remains to be seen. And of course, she is excited, and that, Caleb gave her reassurance. One of her love languages, physical touch, and, Caleb is like, hey, I haven't really had, any type of things with significant others. I'm a shy person, and, he was telling the confessional, I need her to be there to encourage me. I understand, that there's some things that I might not be able to be open to. But, he liked the fact that she was telling him what she needs. If they're going to be a couple, she likes the fact that, he knows what she wants and what she needs in this coupling relationship, And, Justine is like, man, this is getting better and better. I like him. Hopefully, I think she said this might be a problem. I don't know what she meant by that, but I really like these two. I'm going to raise the level a little bit and give them probably a 6, because I want to see where this can go. And they even had some dancing time at the neon party. I thought these two were so cute together. And it seems like, he's all in, and they're one of the top 3 couples, and that got Trey looking some kind of way, and I was busting up laughing, because I'm like, that's what you get. So they're one of our top 3 couples that are safe. And again, Trey is at the bottom. Boo-hoo-hoo. You wanted to pie her so hard in the face with that cream pie. Well, look at that. All right, so let's deal with our final couple, and that's Mackenzie. And we had a lot of content again on Mackenzie and Connor. They actually started off the show with the whole thing about the Hideaway. And the other couples was like, okay, Mackenzie, slow your roll, because we need to take a vote on this. And, honestly, Mackenzie was feeling some kind of way about that. Like, wait a minute, we're probably, one of the best couples that's here. We deserve. And I'm like, really? Okay, let's go with that, because you guys are toxic. Anywho, so they eventually was voted to go into the Hideaway. And of course, Mackenzie is over the moon. She done pulled out her little nighty outfit, her little white teddy, and the girls are helping her get prepared for everything. And, she's just expecting this night to be absolutely wonderful. And of course, Connor's peeping in like, hey, you ready to go? Shoot, you ain't have to ask her twice. Yeah, she ready to go. She ready to jump your bones, dude. But anyway, I thought the kiss was kind of cute. But is it genuine is the question. Yeah, well, that remains to be seen. So the couples actually wish them off as they go. And they take pictures as they getting ready to go into the Hideaway. And I didn't know what to expect, before they went in there. I'm wondering what, Connor's going to do, because the guys did ask him, what if she come on to you? What are you going to do? And he was like, we're in a better place. So I'm open to it. So they get in the Hideaway and, they make a little toast. I thought that was kind of romantic. Looked like the spark is a little bit better. You guys tell me what you think. Do you think that they've actually changed? Or if their relationship has actually gotten a lot better? I don't know. Mackenzie has her moments. She has her highs and lows when it comes with Connor. And he just ride the wave of Mackenzie. So, it's going to be interesting to see, And, Mackenzie said, hey, I no longer feel any baggage from the last 3 days. This is going to be a great reset for them. And you know what? In all honesty, I really, really, truly hope so. And I mean, pretty much after they shut the lights off and the cameras was definitely recording after dark. But, I mean, honestly, they look like they have some form of sexual chemistry. I mean, you guys, y'all tell me what y'all think. He seemed like he was definitely interested, but of course, you got a man, bed, and sex. I don't think they wouldn't be. And, of course, Mackenzie is extremely attractive. So, I didn't see him turning her down or acting awkward. But she was definitely trying to put it on him because he was acting kind of squirrely, like he didn't know what to do. And she was like, you know what, let me be the dominant one in this bedroom situation. I'm going to take over. And she took over. And honestly, he definitely let her do so. He had no problem, being on the receiving end at the bottom while she was on top, letting her do what she wants to do and take and actually have her way with Mr. Connor. And with that smile on his face, she did an excellent job. So obviously, Mackenzie, you definitely put it on him because he was smiling from ear to ear. So, the next morning, they definitely, was ending their little night twist in their hideaway. And they were talking about that bidet and how much they actually loved it. Comment down below, you guys, if you actually tried it. So it's tea time with the girls and with the guys. And, honestly, Connor kept it sweet. He was just like, you know what? We had a romantic night and that's all I'm going to say. And they was like, hey, that's all we want to know. So the guys didn't really get in deep, but they did get talking about that bidet. But Mackenzie was like, oh my God. Seriously, I had to put in work. He act like he didn't really know what to do. And I'm making my moves and showing my moves. And I would have never expected that, he really hasn't done a lot. And I'm like, Mackenzie, you don't want to put dude down like that. You could have said, oh, yeah, we got it on. And he let me, take the reins. And, I put in work. You ain't had to say he ain't know what he was doing. That ain't cool, girl, to put your dude out there like that to your girlfriends. So hopefully that don't come back to bite her in the end. So they also participated in the pie event. And, that whole thing, with her getting pied, she was not happy about what Calvin had to say. And, she was like, wait a minute. How is it that 3 out of the 6 times he get kissed and I get pied the other 2 times? She was not happy about this pie thing. It seems like she was taking it personal. Girlfriend, it's a game. It's a game. Now, do I think Calvin was throwing a little bit of shade? Probably. Saying that, all of the stuff that she was taking him through an emotional roller coaster. I don't know. I think he was definitely trying to put some shade in there. But Connor definitely, put a ring on it. And, of course, he pied. I think Connor actually pied Kierstan. Yeah. But still, she was still stuck on this whole pie thing and why she was getting pied. Girlfriend, a lot of people got pied at that event. You gonna be all right. So just chill out. But did she? Nah. So she's had a sit down with her boy and was like, you know what? What's up with that comment that Calvin made about, pieing me? And before he pied me, he said this is for taking my boy through an emotional roller coaster. And like I said, I think there might have been a little bit of shade with that because Calvin was feeling some kind of way. And basically, of course, Connor definitely tried to blow it off. Connor was like, oh, it wasn't nothing. Yeah, I saw. So I wasn't appreciative of that too. You gave him the ammunition because you were telling him and the other guys about Mackenzie. So what are you talking about? You feeling some kind of way about what Calvin said? Dude, if you ain't feeling something, you need to talk to the girl. If you want to be with her, be with her. If you don't, you need to walk away. Because you can't be doing one thing in front of her and something else outside of her. All right. So, Calvin actually pulled Mackenzie aside and, apologized for her. He said that, he meant her no ill will and, that we all in a good place. I'm hoping, but please accept my apology. I shouldn't have said that. And, Mackenzie was like, hey, people was like, what was that all about? Like, wow. But, she claimed that she accepted his apology. She'll forgive him, but she don't forget, But she said that we're all good. And, I don't know. Do you actually think that he was being genuine? Was this forced? Was this forced for content? Or did he actually feel the way that he did? And Mackenzie, her apology. Do you actually think that her apology was genuine when it came to, Calvin and what he said about the whole statement? So I'm glad they hashed it out. I don't know. I would say, maybe they were genuine. But they made light of it, and she was like, you know what, we're all good. Just be better. You can do it. Be better. And then she said something like ready, break. And I'm like, okay. Just like a lot of people in reality scenes, they like to cut the scene on their own. So they were also part of the Neon Party. And of course, Connor and Mackenzie were doing their thing. But guess what? They are also one of the couples of the bottom three. And Mackenzie definitely wasn't expecting that. I mean, Arielle definitely dropped a bombshell. Like, yeah, we don't see you guys as being one of the top three couples. You're actually got to be voted to stay on as well. And the thing is, the votes are actually voted by the other top three couples, and they are not feeling that, because now you're in the position of choosing who gets to stay and who gets to go home. So this is going to be a hard decision because a lot of these folks are friends with each other. So, I mean, Kierstan, Carrington, Connor and Mackenzie, Calvin has to figure this out along with Moira, and they're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And of course that decision also lies with Justine and Caleb. They got a tough decision to make. So you guys, also Johnny and Sally, they got to make a decision too. Comment down below who you think should stay and what couple should go. So let's do our post notification shout out for this particular video. And you guys, thank you so much for watching my previous videos. The first shout out goes to Amy Mythe. Thank you so much for engaging in the channel with your comments. And then our second post notification shout out is Nastasia C. Thank you as well for engaging on the channel. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.